time, Nas was still fairly new, so Nas's level of lyricism was that thing to match. Makapasha Muff, I'm almost ready to say the best rapper I've ever heard in my life. He was absolutely vicious with the lyrics.
Right.
Absolutely vicious.
I still got some songs
and at
with
that
him
time, I was a writer. I was an MC. Listen to that dude, I was... Makapasha Muff was amazing.
Hey, well, if that's the case, I got some music right in the car with Makapasha Muff.
I would love to hear it. That dude was on base lyric.
Yo, so this dude right here, he's breaking down the history of how the camp started in Jersey, man. You know, a lot of people think that it started on 12 William Street. That's when I came in. You feel me? But it goes back
we used to be
before
on
that.
I don't know if you know
Zion Towers?
No. Remember Aria Rum and Iwalum?
I met Iwalum, but I never knew him before the summer.
Iwalum lived there.
Yeah.
That's who house we used to go to all the time. So whatever projects that was that he lived in, I don't remember the name of the projects he lived in. Whatever those projects was, that's where it started. That's where it started. That's where the school, the first Jersey school after Abba Bivens era. That's where that first Jersey school was, and that's the area we used to hit every single week. Flooded. That's like literature, teaching, street speaking, all of that.
Right.
And Jersey just began to grow. And then next thing you know, they used to come down to New York every week. So Jersey, it became, you know, New York and Jersey is so close that it became another zone for us. It literally became part of House of David. So it became an every week thing for us out in Jersey. We used to have a good time out there, man. We used to definitely have a good time.
Makapasha Muff always used to talk about how y'all was in Zion Towers, doing the classes over there and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And the brotherly love, Makapasha always used to be bringing that up, man. And that was always one of my favorite teachers back in the day. Definitely, because he always used to be like breaking it down, like, yo, it come down to love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like true, genuine love.
That's right.
And that's why, yo, when he came through the other day, it was like around last week or 2 weeks ago, he came to Mathaf house. Oh, man, I was so when Mathaf called me, he said, you know who over here? I said, yo, I'm rushing over there.
I never see my husband drive home so fast. Wow. And I was like, you know what? I have time to go ahead. Let me finish up, like, doing some carpentry that I was doing or whatever. I'll take a shower or whatever. When I was just literally jumping in the shower, he's pulling up with the car like, woo! And I busted some brother Yasharash. What's his name? Asha, boom, banging on me and so. And I'm like, what the hell? The dogs is going crazy and stuff. I'm like, what the hell are you doing home?
Yeah, we're gonna have us another session. I got to hear him go again. When I get him again, I want to hear him go.
Definitely.
And it's been years, and he should have a good another 10 rounds for me, my nigga. It's been
Yo, when we
years.
was recording 40 days, 40 nights, 40 tracks, The Real Jews and Black.
Okay.
We was trying to get him on some songs so bad.
That is bad, right?
Yeah, and he just was like, nah. Then he waited till after we recorded it. Then he said, you know what, I want to record. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. But we got mad songs with him on it that just never got out there because we had to split in the school and all of that stuff.
It's the wheelchair thing. Is his spirit good? Is he still cheerful?
Nah, his spirit is still cheerful, man.
All right.
His spirit, you know, I asked him.
Makapasha, man, I never ever forgot you. I know you may not remember me. We only got to kick it maybe once or twice back at that time. But I never forgot you, brother. That, yo, the rapping left an impression, but it's the brotherhood and the way that you treated me that really, really, really left an impression.
Yeah.
But the lyrics, man, definitely was perfect. Never forgot you.
Word, yeah, man. His spirits are still good. When I asked him, I was like, yo, you know, how you feeling? He's like, look, everything comes from the Most High.
Right.
So, you know, whatever the Most High got planned for him,
You got to deal with it.
he willing to deal with it. You know what I'm
I remember he
saying?
was telling me that he used to rock with Redman.
Mm-hmm.
He used to tell me he was rocking with Redman. And when Redman started getting on, Redman started distancing himself from him because he knew, he felt Redman knew that once somebody that was in the game heard him, he would take all that shine from Redman. So he said, you know, he felt like Redman was distancing himself from him when he started really getting with Eric Sermon and it started blowing. And if you hear the dude rap, Redman is nice.
Right.
But
He not a Makapasha Muff.
like, no chance against that dude. And as nice as Redman is, zilch chance against him, literally. Zilch chance. So I can understand why he would not want to introduce him to anybody that's going to put him in that position to be the man.
Yeah, because he could actually outdo him in the game too.
Yeah. I could definitely understand, like, listen, brother, when I sign, I'll call you.
And that's why he was one of my favorite teachers too, because I was still like when I was in the world, I was like almost in the rap game, in between deals and all that stuff, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So then I remember when I learned this truth. Yeah, I was so sprung from the truth, I forgot we were supposed to be taking a flight to Atlanta to deal with this management deal. I was a whole month back to back, going to class, and I was like, and I missed the trip, and people was mad at me, man. And Michael Pasha Moth, you know, having that experience of dealing with the music in the past and all that stuff, he understood the struggles and the temptations I was dealing with, because I was still like out there with it, and it was like I believe that would have been the only thing that really pulled me into the world. It kept me out of the truth.
And let me tell you something, man. Once you get in that zone, brother, that's a strong demon to battle.
Yes,
because
it is.
Everywhere you go, you're dealing with something. If it's not whoremongering, it's drugs. If it's not whoremongering and drugs, it's both. If it ain't both, it's the conversation on top. There's so much temptation in that world, brother. And you gotta really, really rub shoulders with the devil. You gotta really rub shoulders with Esau in that game. They control all the labels. You know, I don't Bad Boy, Rockefeller. If the white man say you can't get your record out, you ain't getting your record out. Simple as that.
And if you ain't willing to compromise and do what he wants you to do,
simple as that,
your song ain't getting played.
That's it. That's it. So that world, man, listen, there's a few of us who, you know, who had aspirations of going that route. You know what I'm saying? Because the era we came up in, hip hop was really, really big. You know, so there's a few of us that had aspirations of trying to make it rapping. But the Most High, like Jeremiah, the first chapter said, you was already chosen before you was born. The Most High already had you preordained at whatever particular date to hear this truth and to start your path in that way. No matter what was going on in your life, whether it was hip hop, or no matter what was going on in your life at that time.
So how did you came into the truth? What was your stone in the middle of your head?
My father was in the original One West. And growing up in New York, the 5% influence was real heavy in the city when I was coming up in the early 80s or whatever. Almost every young adult I knew was a 5%er, but they all was drug dealers. So even as a little kid, that thing used to rock me in the head like, yo, these guys are always talking about God and
but they drugs.
You know what I'm saying? I realized that they was doing bad things. You know, even though they wasn't jumping people and beating people up, I saw them smoking, I saw them selling drugs, but yet the whole conversation all day would be about God. So, you know, even as a kid, I noticed this thing, and I always struggled with it mentally. So I decided to try my hand at being a 5%er, and I got my lessons and all that stuff. And this is yo, I'm down the block right now. I'm coming up right now. The brother getting ready to bounce. I'm coming up to the camp now. You hear me? Zab. Maybe he bucked out me. So while I was 5%er, I was dealing with the Islam thing a little bit as well, because, you know, that's another thing that was popular. All black men thought we were Muslim. So my father one day, man, decided to sit me down. Early in the morning, I'm still in my drawers. He came in my bedroom. I'm still in my bed in my drawers. He came in my bedroom, and he sat down on my brother's bed, which was across the room from my bed. And he just started talking to me about the Bible. And he didn't last too long, maybe about 30 minutes. And when he left my room, he signed my name in the Bible and gave it to me. And when he gave me the Bible, I didn't scoff. My spirit was starting to be a little more open, I guess because he had sat down to talk to me. Because prior to that, when I would hear him and my brother salute, I would make fun. Because I thought I was Muslim. I would make fun of the salute. I would make fun when I heard them reciting some Hebrew. And then one day, like I said, he came and he talked to me and started just breaking a few things down to me. Deuteronomy 28 was one of the chapters I believe he touched. And then I came out here. right here, across to that building, right there, Harlem State Office building, is where the camp was. And we're talking 88, 89. The camp was there. And my dad was part of that camp, so that was the first camp that I would go and listen to. I came out like noon, and it was wintertime. We're okay, brother. Thank you, though. And it was maybe January. I came out, it was noon, and it was brick that day, freezing cold outside. And next thing I know, I looked at my watch again, it was 5:30. I stood all that time just listening, just beyond amazed to hear the power of black men saying the things that they were saying and being convicted and not having the fear. So that power, along with the message that was already ringing in my spirit, you know, a lot of brothers join this movement, this truth, because it's a message that their spirit identifies with.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not so much the garments that brothers is wearing. It's not so much, you know, if you're diesel, if brothers is tall. Brothers latch on to that word.
Yeah,
They hear you saying what they spirit been
Was
crying.
strong.
They hear you saying
Strong.
what their spirit testifies to.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them snap and say, okay, I'm gonna stand right here and I wanna hear this. Which is what I did. And after that first week of going out right here, it was a wrap. I never left. I never left. Freedom Born Allah died that day. He died that day.
Now that's crazy because you know your father was part of the original One West. And he brought you into repentance. And a lot of Israelites from other sects, whether it was a sect before One West or afterwards or whatever it may be, they hate on the One West camps and they think that everything in One West was bad because I guess of how it ended.
Right.
But they got the perception that everything in One West was bad.
Which is totally false.
What is your perception on that?
I think that those men were used for the time that the Most High wanted them to be used for. I think that a lot of brothers who disrespect them, even though they did go off, I don't subscribe to them today, but I think a lot of men who disrespect those men probably wouldn't have learned they were Israel if those men didn't do what they did. They came out on the streets and was on the front lines with that word at a time when nobody claimed to be Israelite. They stuck with it. They opened up a school, paid for the school out their own pocket, and kept the school flourishing until the masses were able to come in. So I do believe that as time went on, temptation, greed, agendas, all of that stuff did creep in, and it began to cloud the minds and the spirit of men. And you have what you have today.
Right.
But I do believe
that can happen to any congregation.
that can happen to any congregation.
It's not just a One West thing.
The reason it happened to One West is because those brothers got high and mighty. Remember, the scriptures say, pride goeth before a fall. So when those men begin to get so high and mighty and begin to tell brothers that the doors to the school was the gates of heaven. When brothers began to get so high and mighty to think that they had the authority over the whole nation is when the Most High had to show them that no, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
It's like Moses when he said, Moses said, you're not going into the promised land.
Right, absolutely. Let me tell you something. One thing the Most High tells us is that we're not supposed to usurp authority over the flock. The Most High wants us to feed the flock. But listen, brother, you put on your pants the same way I put on my pants. In this setting right now that we're in the day, I'm not over you. You're not over. We brothers and we grinding together, trying to earn that very same penny, and we trying to earn our entrance into everlasting life. That's what we're all striving for. So as long as we stay humble, and brothers don't realize humility, that's a gift. That's a gift from the Most High.